Oh, God. Well, good thing about playing Jin is you can run away fast. That's like the only good thing. This is pay-to-win Civ versus pay-to-lose Civ. Problem is, there's not going to be much of a landmark. No, 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 no. Oh, God. Between Marine Lord and Anatan. That's right. This is so sick. Deciding game number 5, and it's Jin Dynasty versus Sengoku. We're going to have Japan up against China. Relevant historical clash. Jin actually got picked on LAN. It just came out. It's been memed on. A lot of people say it's trash, but Anatan is here to convince you all otherwise. That's right. Donkey carts galore. We got a lot to talk through here, folks. Because Sengoku used to be the best Civ in the game. They've received ample nerfs and have started to take multiple losses already on this very here LAN. Jin, this is the first pick. This is the first time it's been seen in the Homestead Cup. Anatan, we question whether we'd even be seeing it. It's coming out. And I am excited to see what he's got in mind because Jin, as this tournament began, did receive buffs. Most notably, its bed crossbows, which is its springles that can build in Feudal Age, are better. Another really cool thing, I think was, can you guys remember, was it pagodas that got buffed slightly? They buffed like 2 things on this Civ, as well as fixing some bugs. So for those that are seeing Jin for the first time, this is the new Civ that was released. It is pay-to-lose Civ in most people's eyes, but very unique. So for a start, the workers, they have options. They can build standard workers, or they can spend over double the resources to get a villager that gathers over double as quick, while also moving quicker and building faster. It's a very different style of play that's required with this Civ. And we are going to be seeing the great patches coming in, which is going to get into another stylistic element of this civilization. They get access to the ability to build these pastures that spawn horses in them. And the horses have 2 uses. Right there, you see it, they're going to be coming out. The grasslands, you can use them to either immediately spawn 1 cavalry unit without needing to wait 25 seconds or whatever it's going to be, and then lose 1 of the horses. Or the passive value is for every horse in these pastures, you get +1 health on all your cavalry. So you get 3 of those grasslands up, that's an extra 15 health on all your cav. Doesn't sound that great for the heavy cavalry unit they have. Does sound pretty good for things like horsemen, though. Other side, Marine Lord is going Ryokan, which has seen a surge in popularity, by the way. It used to be you always went the other way with the Shinobi. On a map like this, though, Shinobi kind of sucks. If you guys look on the minimap, you'll see exactly why Marine Lord wouldn't even contemplate Koka Township here. There's literally no stealth forest, so you can only spawn them on buildings. Ryokan, on the other hand, he's probably thinking of playing cavalry, because even against Iron Pagoda, you've got bonus against cavalry-type units. Yeah, and like the other thing here, actually, is like, is it me, or is this a really bad matchup for Jin? Oh, no. Guys. You build your pagodas. They are better Keshiks in some ways, but Sengoku's cavalry gets bonus against cav to offset your armor. Then you build your Mohei tribesman, which is your archer. You can only build horseback archers. They're a cavalry unit. Horsemen get bonus against archers and bonus against cavalry from Sengoku. Like, technically, if Marine Lord is allowed to get to cavalry standpoint, he should just wash the whole comp. But he is beginning spears, and I love this from Anno. He gets the first boyo out. There's the fresh horses we were talking about. So as you build reserves of those ponies, you get extra health. You see what I mean about the stats? Right? 4 melee armor, 3 ranged armor, 200 health, 16 damage. They are a better Keshik. They don't heal in fights. They are more expensive than Keshiks as well. I think they may have decreased the cost of these slightly because they were 260 resources, which is quite pricey. But the other cool thing is if you use the grasslands to spawn them, I believe you get something like a 15% discount or something, so they get cheaper. It's funny how the infantry performs better than their cav. That's true. Most players have been going like 2TC mass spears. Pay to lose Civ? You mean I lose for buying DLC, which I do anyway? Yeah, but now you have an excuse. Iron Pagodas have one of the slowest, if not the slowest attack rate from all cavalry. What is it at? Was it 1.6, 1.7? Why is the quality so low on the mainstream? I told them they need to up the bit rate. This, by the way, this is another reason. You guys might know us, like, we are very zoomed out here. whereas I'm normally zoomed in. That's another thing. Because of the way the bitrate works, if you're more zoomed in, like the fuzziness, I mean, I can't stop it entirely, but you can at least more clearly make things out when you're closer. Because the bitrate, like it's resolution logic, right? It's ups and downs to it, but because the way bitrate works, it's less entities on screen that need to be rendered. So it's a little bit different than if you took a JPEG picture and like stretched it. But anyway, these Mohe tribes, when you're seeing the horse archers, they get bonus against light infantry, i.e. they counter spearmen. It's very weird though, because spears still counter them. Like if they get on top of you and they get a stab, you're a cavalry unit. You die fast. And also, Mohe tribesmen, if I remember correctly, have less health than standard archers anyway. They also cost more than standard archers. Came here to hope I'm in game spec. I literally can't. I would be if I could be, but they're using a private LAN server. There's no way. And here we go. Pagodas are looking like a meme. Oh no. Now, good news is you got 4 melee armor. Bad news is you feel like you got 2 melee armor because that cavalry unit gets +2 against cav. And that's going to be -1 pagoda. Is it me or is that kind of an underwhelming attack? I think it's what we expected. Oh no. So Anatan, like I've seen 2 approaches with Jin. A few players have been trying these kind of mass cavalry feudals. And others have been trying these 2TC builds. I've seen more success out of 2TC so far. I'm really hoping this is the one that can convince me the other way. Problem is, like, you're not stopping the hot dog stands. In theory, that's where the pagodas are good, is just finding your ties and snipe them. Instead, he's the one getting sniped. Yeah, and as Yari cavalry increases, this is only going to get worse. My concern is once the estate comes down. Because then you talk about the attack speed of the pagodas being bad. Think about how good the attack speed of Yari are going to get. Another thing as well, you're now stuck on mass melee, and your opponent has got healing from the Ryokan. He heals for 4 health every 6 seconds. So any damage you do, if you're not finishing a target, is pointless. This is rough. You can play AoE4 via LAN. Yeah, apparently they've got like a special server now for zero ping. It's cute, but to me, I mean, the pros will say it'll make a difference, but what would make a bigger difference is if their time went into like rebuilding the input system so that like it's butter smooth when you click anywhere. That's my hot take. Negative, of course, would probably be that NA wouldn't be able to play Europe or China. Defenders, on the other hand, have a 1.1 attack speed. Yeah, that's why I've been feeling like the best strategies have been 2TC into the defender landmark. The Menga Muka, like my take on day 1 of watching Jin is the one good thing is the Menga Muka. It's like the best unit by far. Everyone's connected to the same hub, but the game still runs online server? Yeah, but it's like zero ping server, so it's like local or something. I don't know. I don't know the full tech details. But they have got a true LAN experiences, I think is the idea. The unfortunate problem is because of the way it's a full private server, the only way the non-official casters can cast it is through their clean feed. Which I imagine must be really annoying for Chinese, German, or whatever, because the broadcast overlay is saying things like coastal cliff, right? Well, that's probably fine. Like, group stage would be different than that. Actually, all this should be different. I need to double check that. I don't know if they've got a different feed. Oh, God. Well, good thing about playing Jin is you can run away fast. That's like the only good thing. Your villages are quick. There's not much else cooking that's good for him, though. Food income, advantage, wood advantage. I mean, a lot of gold gathering for Anno, but it's because he's playing for a castle play to try and get out of this jam. Are we going to be getting the Muka defenders? I think so. There's a risk you get dove here otherwise. So there's 2 landmark choices, right? One is basically Monastery. And this one, the Dragon Pavilion, it gives you the Muka defenders. The way the Muka defenders work is usually you build an outpost and get an emplacement. And when your opponent comes nearby, pagodas come out to attack them. The way this one works is your town center and this landmark will also be capable of spawning those defenders. And the radius of chase is about the size of the screen here. They chase really far. Problem is, there's not going to be much of a landmark. No, 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 no. Oh, God. He's going to have to rush this with more. It's close to being on fire. He will be able to get it up. Marine Lord a little bit late on the dive past. Now the defenders do come out. Ringing the bell there. You see the little shields above them? Those are all 3 units that have spawned. And they attack fast. 164 HP. Rapid attack speed. Is this going to be the clutch up he needs? Injured Pagoda pulling away here. Yadi trying to stick to him. It's good enough. Marine Lord will be forced to retreat. Anatan will survive. Yeah, the other clutch thing about the Dragon Pavilion, you saw it right there, it has got 15 garrison slots in it. It's like the White Tower effect in a different way, because although you haven't got a castle shooting at them at rapid speed, you get a bunch of defenders coming out, because he would have got 3 from the town center and then 5 from this landmark. That is why Marine Lord wasn't able to kill him. And the Emissary does also get spawned for free. Normally it costs 150 gold. This Emissary, he can go over to the trade post and build a tributary state, which will then start generating workers, which are automated, which generate food. The first one generates 120 food. They don't scale very well, though, because after they go up to 8, it works out 140 food a minute, apparently, or 150 maybe. The Pagoda are about to get upgraded, so they're a bit more threatening, but hold on. Yadi. He's trying to go for the premium target. Nicely played. Yeah, so he went after the more expensive villages. Remember, the mounted villages, they take 35 seconds to produce, cost 110 resources. I think where you're going to see it be much harder for Jin to play those type of units is against raiding civs, really. Like, for example, knights. French knights should be really good against them. They can't shoot hit kill, but it's much easier to justify a commitment in on that worker because it's 2 workers bundled in one. Whereas usually melee can suck when it's like there's too many targets sort of thing, right? Oh god, that's a bad for the book. Like, we got the... no, we haven't. Marine Lord could actually just snipe them. Yep, 1, 2... You could get the 3. He's going to hang around for it just yet. Nicely played, though. That's a good trade. Pagodas are insanely expensive. I'm pretty sure they're still 260. Or maybe it's 240. Why the defensive landmark not shoot? Because it has a different type of emplacement. It spawns a bunch of units for free that defend you. So, like, I actually want to give the devs credit for it. It's a very unique take on defensive emplacements. Iron Pagodas. Sake Brewery now on the way. Things are looking really good from Marine Lord. So the thing you have to keep in mind, we can't see it in the UI. Anatan probably has about 10, 11, maybe, of these special villages. So you want to be putting like an extra 10 on his economy. He's a few villages behind, but not a drastic amount, I'd say. And that's a shame. The farm's getting shut down. I love how they scream flee and then just stand still. So now he's getting no food from that source. Whoops. He has got more defender outposts coming in. You can see that by the icon up here. That's the new emplacement that spawns units to defend you. In a sense, default horsemen are better than massing pagoda since they're too expensive and weak to be worth to mass. I would look at it differently in the way melee works is melee doesn't, in terms of DPS potential, it doesn't inflate on a linear curve. In some ways, it's exponential. In other ways, it is reverse exponential. And what I mean by that is, like, if you have less melee, at the start of the fight, they're all fighting. If you have more melee, they will give you an advantage once they get around in position, but not until they do. So I would argue, probably what's even better, is you have a small group of pagoda and then lots of horsemen. That makes sense? Because now your pagoda, they're your tank, and they're attacking straight away, and then the horsemen don't take the damage, but they do the damage. That's a cool way to think about how to use them. But in this matchup, you don't want to build horsemen against Sengoku. The horsemen are better. He's getting the bone tributary. In the meantime, looks like your tire's going to get sniped out. But we've got Mountain Samurai coming, guys. And you don't have a good answer to that. Like, you have to build spears here. There's nothing else Anno could rely on. He's definitely not dead yet. Like, the cool thing he's got as well as all these emplacements. He is also playing now towards the monks, which doesn't seem to be on Marine Lord's agenda. Could he win this? And how? I mean, the Pagoda are obnoxiously tanky. So they can actually get quite a few raids in before dropping. Problem is, you don't really have a way of reliably healing them. A lot of auto time being forced is good. What's the state of the Matsuri? I imagine that Marine Lord's probably got 3 tiers back so far, so 50% buff pretty good. And bye-bye Tributary. I know if he gets the Emissary back out there, the Tributary states cost nothing to build, by the way. It just takes time. And here we go. Here's the defenders. So he gets 2 out of each outpost. They're pretty good when you're fighting. They suck like this. Like, this is where I don't see the full value. Like, I said it's an interesting idea, but the negative... And hold on a sec. Cheeky little warlord coming out. That was the bribe. That was a sick idea. So the Emissary has a bribe ability, which means any units that would have been caught in there would have had to attack the closest thing to them, whether it's enemy or ally. Cool idea, but unfortunately, Marine Lord was switched onto it straight away. Glad we finally got to see that. Unfortunately, it didn't come out, because that would have been a sick hit. It's it's basically Frenzy. Anyone who plays Old Arrow at the moment, it's Frenzy. You can just make everyone attack everyone. Crazy strong if you can get them off, but difficult to do so without forcing a fight. But yeah, the point I was making around these defenders, the defenders are really strong, but the way they're strong is you have to be confident to fight. Because if you're not, it's an automated unit. And the negative of that is that I can just drag them out of range of where your army's standing, fight them individually, and then come in. It's like when you play a team game, and 3 of you are saying, we're going to hold ground, and then one guy's Leroy Jenkinsing into an army, and he just dies straight away. It's that same type of mentality. Like, these are AI-controlled bots that come out of your defenses. They say when they want to fight, and you have to join them. And Marine Lord just exploited that fully. Knew that Anatan wasn't ready. Anno, I believe that tech is the one that gives his spears a ranged attack. I mean, he needs something to fight a range with, for sure. The funny thing is, you'd think bed crossbows would be good here, but the problem for Anatan is he needs more spears, so he can't really afford bed crossbows. Bed crossbows are the springalds that Jin gets. You see what I mean about these defenders? They are good at shutting down raids or small hits, and oh no. Speaking raids, another slip-in. Another slip down on the work account. A lot of wood being gathered up. So Marine Lord is farm transitioning right now, and they're coming in fast. He's got 20% buff to all the farms, and he's got a lot more coming through. Yeah, this is going to turn into a Zerg soon, I think. Marine Lord is technically at his weakest right now. You can see on his food income. But that's about to get fixed. A few farms coming in from Anno. Not as competitive, though. And there's the shots we were talking about. So yeah, he did tech up into it. It's a cool idea. Like, overall, I haven't been that impressed by the spear shot. It feels like a worse version of the Donzo Javelin, and they get that tech by default. You can also use cannons bombers to outrange spawn the defenders. Yes, but in this situation, you're not going to put cannons, right? Because cannons slow you... Well, for start, you're not Imperial, but Trebs, for example, slow you down too much. It's good if your opponent has stacked like 5, 6 outposts, and you don't want to dive it, like 10 outposts, whatever you don't want to dive it. But at this stage, the easier approach is if you know you have army advantage, just bait their spawn intentionally, because there is a stockpile of defenders that get shared amongst all the buildings that have the defenders, is my understanding. So you can exhaust the supply. TC drop now. I mean, Anno's not wrong with this idea. His position's pretty rough if he continues on this trend. It's a bit tough to get up. Spear's getting body blocked from the choke point. Anno, once he completes it, it should spawn a few defenders. Mad Samurai starting to slip through here. A bribe coming through is going to be a whiff, though. Wasn't able to hold on long enough. TC drop comes in. The defenders have been summoned. Mad Samurai continue to brute force this back. They are going to be forced to retreat, though. So Anno gets a stay of execution. He still has huge, huge food issues, though. Is this perception-wise best Civ versus worst Civ? I think so. This is pay to win Civ versus pay to lose Civ, right? And it is kind of playing out that way. I mean, in fairness, Sengoku have been nerfed down quite a bit. Like, we've seen them. They've taken more Ls than they've taken Ws on land so far. But this is looking A bit tough right now to ever envision a loss for Sengoku. Marine Lord's played it right. He hasn't, like, overindulged too fast. Because, like, the risk you run in these positions is if you dive Jin too fast, you will lose to the automated defenders. You'll gradually lose your advantage. So he's been very strategic about where he's been fighting. And Yumi Mass already up to 25. Defenders are going to be summoned. Still, he's got the spears. And this is the thing, like this is where the defenders can look a bit oof. Is you can get baited into spears. It's not like if you control the knights, you can't pull them back. So if there are spears, you're kind of screwed. Like this is, I think, where this Civ starts to feel really weird, is if you're relying on defenders and your archers are more expensive and less all-rounded, how do you not just get tricked like this every time? But now coming in on the TC. Archers keep the spears away. Town Center's been alive for like, what, 2 minutes and dead? Has to push in the choke point. Yumi could just kind of stand there, really. Actually, he sends in the Ikko Ikki. I love that. Spears and Ikko Ikki go in, I think. I swear I saw an Ikko Ikki in there. Maybe I'm imagining it. Few Pagoda's going to be auto-summoned, as in he got them immediately by spending the pastures, but the spears, there's more than enough of them to deal with that. He's going to keep the town center up. The kill count keeps ramping up. It's now 50 to 12 military. Let's see. Barely holding on by Fred, but it's like maybe an overextension. Marine Lord does need to pull away, but if you look at the minimap, guys, there's a boatload coming. Like, I'm actually kind of worried now. That second wave is killer. Mad Samurai as well, just a handful of these. Like, there's nothing left. You draft a Jin just to die like this? Yeah, it's kind of inevitable. Goes for repair. Has got a few of the premium villages in there. They super repair. They're very fast. Defenders are buying him a little bit of life still. Like, I think the takeaway for people from this game is, holy crap, the auto defenders look really good, but everything else looks really bad about Jin. And Marine Lord has respected it, right? He's gone Sacred Site control now. He's realized this is going to take a while, because that replenishment of defenders keeps just slowing down his ability to kill. And remember, those units are free. They just take time to spawn. If you build the outpost to summon them, you do have to buy the emplacement, which I think is 150 resources. But outside that, yep, bombs up. Free units, lol. Yeah, bait him over. Spears should be able to get the kill. And the idea is now you can go in and try and burst down the TC afterwards. I think the easier route from Marine Lord legitimately is just to build 2 rams here to try and break through this. How often the defenders spawn? I think their cooldown is like, is it 30, 45 chat? And then there's a reserve that has to build up. And bribe again, just gets out of range. At this point, Anatan is gambling on his mini Wallalols hitting. Because if he bribes and it hits, all these units are going to kill each other. It is a really cool mechanic, actually. I like it. The whole idea of using size against your opponent. Yeah. Size definitely matters in this one. Marine Lord. Army just keeps getting bigger. Give me abandoned ship on the secondary TC. I don't know if he is mathematically better off than if he would just been 1 TC up until now. He built that several minutes ago, and like he was at about 39 villages, right? It doesn't feel like the TC paid off. I'd have to double check though. Now moving into the main. That landmark was never repaired, by the way. Sniping it would be big. What do you think should be the cast UI information for the Jin they should add? For a start, you need to see emissaries don't show on their bar for some reason. You need to see the buff villages, and you need to see this Civ buffed. Pay to win Civ versus pay to lose Civ. Shocker, pay to win wins.